Good morning. This is Kent Blaylock with SDG Bible Study. That's the SOLI DEO GLORIA Bible Study coming to you on this August the 19th, Tuesday morning. And just excited to be up and about and ready to read God's Word this morning as we continue in the reading of the Everyday Gospel, a daily devotional by Paul David Tripp with a reading from the biblical text and then a short devotional reading. This morning we'll be in the book of Jeremiah. We're going to be in 3 chapters, 46, 47, and 48 this morning. So join me as we read God's Word together. Jeremiah chapter 46. That which came as the word of Yahweh to Jeremiah the prophet concerning the nations, to Egypt concerning the military force of Pharaoh Necho, king of Egypt, which was by the Euphrates River at Carchemish, which Nebuchadnezzar king of Babylon struck down in the 4th year of Jehoiakim, the son of Josiah, king of Judah. Arrange the shield and the large shield, and draw near for the battle. Harness the horses and mount the steeds, and take your stand with helmets on. Polish the spears, put on the scale armor. Why have I seen it? They are shattered, they are drawing back, and their mighty men are crushed. They have fled to refuge without facing back. Terror is on every side, declares Yahweh. Let not the swift man flee, nor the mighty man escape. In the north beside the river Euphrates, they have stumbled and fallen. Who is it that rises like the Nile, that like the rivers whose waters toss about? Egypt rises like the Nile, even like the rivers whose waters toss about. And he has said, I will rise and cover that land. I will surely cause the city to perish, as well as its inhabitants. Go up, you horses, and drive madly, you chariots, that the mighty men may go forth. Ethiopia and Put, who seize the shield, and the Lydians, who seize and bend the bow. Indeed, that day belongs to the Lord Yahweh of hosts, a day of vengeance, so as to avenge himself on his adversaries, and the sword will devour and be satiated, and drink its fill of their blood, for there will be a sacrifice to Lord Yahweh of hosts in the land of the north by the river Euphrates. Go up to Gilead and obtain balm, O virgin daughter of Egypt. In vain have you multiplied remedies. There is no healing for you. The nations have heard of your disgrace, and the earth is full of your outcry. For one warrior has stumbled over another, and both of them have fallen down together. This is the message which Yahweh spoke to Jeremiah the prophet about the coming of Nebuchadnezzar, king of Babylon, to strike down the land of Egypt. Declare in Egypt, and cause it to be heard in Migdol. Cause it to be heard also in Memphis and Taphanes. Say, take your stand and get yourself ready, for the sword has devoured those around you. Why are your mighty ones thrown down? They do not stand because Yahweh has thrust them down. They have repeatedly stumbled. Indeed, they have fallen one against another. Then they said, rise up and let us return to our own people and land of our birth, away from the sword of the oppressor. They called out there, Pharaoh, king of Egypt, is but a rumbling. He has let the appointed time pass by. As I live, declares the king, whose name is Yahweh of hosts, surely one shall come who looms up like Tabor among the mountains, or like Carmel by the sea. Make your baggage ready for exile, and hold it, O inhabitant of the daughter of Egypt. For Memphis will become a desolation. It will even be turned into ruin and without inhabitants. Egypt is a pretty heifer, but a horsefly is coming from the north. It is coming. Also her mercenaries in her midst are like fattened calves, for even they have turned back and have fled away together. They do not stand their ground, for the day of their disaster has come upon them, the time of their punishment. Its sound moves along like a serpent. Its sound moves along like a serpent, for they move on like a military force, and come to her as woodcutters with axes. They have cut down her forest, declares Yahweh. Surely it will no longer be searched out, even though they are now more numerous than locusts, and are without number. The daughter of Egypt has been put to shame, given over to the hand of the people of the north. Yahweh of hosts, the God of Israel, says, behold, I am going to punish Ammon of Thebes and Pharaoh and Egypt, along with her gods and her kings, even Pharaoh and those who trust in him. I shall give them into the hand of those who are seeking their lives, even into the hand of Nebuchadnezzar, king of Babylon, and into the hand of his servants. Afterwards, however, it will be dwelt in like the days of old, declares Yahweh. But as for you, O Jacob, my servant, do not fear, nor be dismayed, O Israel, for behold, I am going to save you from afar, and your seed from the land of their captivity, and Jacob will return and have quiet, and be at ease, with no one making him tremble. O Jacob, my servant, do not fear, declares Yahweh, for I am with you. For I will make a complete destruction of all the nations where I have banished you. Yet I will not make a complete destruction of you, but I will discipline you with justice, and by no means leave you unpunished. Now to chapter 47. That which came as the word of Yahweh to Jeremiah, prophet, concerning the Philistines, before Pharaoh struck down Gaza. Thus says Yahweh, behold, waters are going to rise from the north and become an overflowing torrent, and overflow the land as well as its fullness, the city and those who inhabit it. And the men will cry out, and every inhabitant of the land will wail, because of the noise of the galloping hoofs of his valiant steeds, the quaking of his chariots, and the tumult of his wheels. The fathers have not turned back for their children, because of the limpness of their hands. On account of the day that is coming, to destroy all the Philistines, to cut off from Tyre and Sidon every ally that is left. For Yahweh is going to destroy the Philistines, the remnant of the coastland of Caphtor. Baldness has come upon Gaza. Askelon has been ruined, O remnant of their valley. How long will you gash yourself? Ah, sword of Yahweh, how long will you not be quiet? Withdraw into your sheath. Be at rest and stay still. How can it be quiet? Yahweh has given it a command against Askelon and against the sea coast. There he has assigned it. Now to chapter 48. Concerning Moab, thus says Yahweh of hosts, the God of Israel, woe to Nebo, for it has been destroyed. Kirithaim has been put to shame, it has been captured. The lofty stronghold has been put to shame and shattered. There is praise for Moab no longer. In Heshbon they have devised calamity against her. Come and let us cut her off from being a nation. You too, madmen, will be silenced. The sword will follow after you. The sword of an outcry from Horonaim, devastation and great destruction. Moab is broken. Her little ones have made their cry of distress heard. For by the ascent of Luhith they will ascend with continual weeping. For at the descent of Horonaim they have heard the distress cry of destruction. Flee, escape with your lives, that you may be like a juniper in the wilderness. For because of your trust in your own works and treasures, even you yourself will be captured, and Chemosh will go off into exile, together with his priests and his princes. A destroyer will come to every city. See that no city will escape. So that no city will escape. The valley also will perish, and the plateau will be destroyed, as Yahweh has said. Give twigs to Moab. Give wings to Moab, for she will flee away, and her cities will become a desolation without inhabitants in them. Cursed be the one who does the work of Yahweh with a slack hand, and cursed be the one who restrains his sword from blood. Moab has been at ease since his youth. He also had quiet like wine on its dregs, and he has not been emptied from vessel to vessel, nor has gone into exile. Therefore he retains his flavor, and his aroma has not changed. Therefore, behold, the days are coming, declares Yahweh, when I will send to him those who tip vessels, and they will tip him over, and they will empty his vessels and shatter his jars. And Moab will be ashamed of Chemosh at the house of Israel, as the house of Israel was ashamed of Bethel, their trust. How can you say we are mighty warriors and men valiant for battle? Moab has been destroyed, and men have gone up to his cities. His choicest young men have also gone down to the slaughter, declares the King, whose name is Yahweh of hosts. The disaster of Moab will soon come, and his calamity has quickly hastened. Mourn for him, all you who live around him, even all of you who know his name. Say, how has the strong scepter been broken, a staff of beauty? Come down from your glory and inhabit parched ground, O inhabitant of the daughter of O inhabitant of the daughter of Dibon. For the destroyer of Moab has come up against you. He has ruined your strongholds. Stand by the road and keep watch, O inhabitant of Aroer. Ask him who flees and her who escapes, and say, what has happened? Moab has been put to shame, for it has been shattered. Wail and cry out. Declare by the Arnon that Moab has been destroyed. Judgment has also come upon the plain, upon Holon, upon Jazer, and against Mephath, and against Dibon, Nebo, and Beth Diblathane, and against Kiriathaim, Beth Gamel, and Beth Meon, and against Kirioth, Basra, and all the cities of the land of Moab, far and near. The horn of Moab has been cut in pieces, and his arm broken, declares Yahweh. Make him drunk, for he has magnified himself against Yahweh. So Moab will wallow in his vomit, and he also will become a laughingstock. Now, was not Israel a laughingstock to you, or was he caught among thieves? For each time you speak about him, you shake your head in scorn. Leave the cities and dwell among the crags, O inhabitants of Moab, and be like a dove that nests beyond the mouth of the chasm. We have heard of the pride of Moab. He is very proud, of his haughtiness, his pride, his arrogance, and the exaltedness of his heart. I know his fury, declares Yahweh, but it is nothing. His idle boasts have accomplished nothing. Therefore I will wail for Moab, even for all Moab I cry out. I will moan for the men of Kir-Heres, more than the weeping for Jazer. I will weep for you, O vine of Sibmah. Your branches stretched across the sea. They reach to the sea of Jazer upon your summer fruits and your grape harvest. The destroyer has fallen. So gladness and joy are gathered up from the fruitful orchard, even from the land of Moab. And I have made the wine to cease from the wine presses. No one will tread them with shouting. The shouting will not be shouts of joy. From the outcry at Heshbon, even to Elilah, even to Jahaz, they have given forth their voice, from Zoar even to Horonaim, and to Eglath Shilashah. For even the waters of Nimrim will become desolate. I will make Moab cease, declares Yahweh, the one who offers offerings on the high place, and the one who offers offerings in the smoke to his gods. Therefore my heart moans for Moab like flutes. My heart also moans like flutes for the men of Kir-Heres. Therefore they have lost the abundance it produced. For every head is bald and every beard cut short. There are gashes on all the hands and sackcloth on the loins. On all the rooftops of Moab and in its open squares there is lamentation everywhere. For I have broken Moab like an undesirable vessel, declares Yahweh. How shattered it is! How they have wailed! How Moab has turned his back! He is ashamed. So Moab will become a laughingstock, an object of terror to all around him. For thus says Yahweh, behold, one will swoop like an eagle and spread out his wings against Moab. Kirioth has been captured, and the strongholds have been seized. So the hearts of the mighty men of Moab in that day will be like the heart of a woman in labor. Moab will be destroyed from being a people because he has magnified himself against Yahweh. Panic and pit and pitfall are coming upon you, O inhabitant of Moab, declares Yahweh. The one who flees from the panic will fall into the pit, and the one who climbs up out of the pit will be caught in the pitfall. For I shall bring upon her, even upon Moab, the year of their punishment, declares Yahweh. In the shadow of Heshbon, those who flee stand without strength, for a fire has gone forth from Heshbon, and a flame from the midst of Zion. And it has devoured the top of the head of Moab and the scalps of those who rumble. Woe to you, O Moab! People of Chemosh have perished, for your sons have been taken away captive, and your daughters into captivity. Yet I will return the fortunes of Moab in the last days, declares Yahweh. Thus far, the judgment on Moab. That's going to conclude our reading from the biblical text. Now to the devotional reading. We must never allow ourselves to underestimate the infinite power and authority of God. I'm persuaded that much of our fear, anxiety, discouragement, and hopelessness is a result of bad theology. At its core, what is the Bible all about? The existence, character, and plan of God. Every other aspect of Scripture flows out of the reality of who God is. A bad or weak theology of God will lead to weakness in other areas of theology and spiritual weaknesses in daily living. I had this experience again and again in counseling. I would be working with someone who was struggling to trust God, but as I listened to him describe who he thought God was, I immediately understood why he had trouble trusting. I would often think, if I thought that this was who God is, I would have trouble trusting him too. One common mistake is our functional theology of God is thinking he is too small. The God in our minds lacks the awesome, glorious, and incalculable power and authority that the true God of the Bible has. The God of the Bible created the world out of nothing. The God of the Bible holds his creation together by his power. The God of the Bible commands the forces of nature to do his will. The God of the Bible is sovereign over everything and everyone. The God of the Bible rules the nations, and his will be done. The God of the Bible reigns in majestic splendor so great that nothing compares to him. The awesome power and authority of God is on display in the latter part of the book of Jeremiah, as God announces his judgment on the nations that surround his people. This is the Lord, and the nations are answerable to him. No one can question his power or the authority he has to judge whom he will judge. The word of the Lord came to Jeremiah 46, verse 1, and God told him to announce his judgment on Egypt, Philistines, Moab, Ammon, Edom, Damascus, Kedar, and Hazor, Elam, and Babylon. This announcement of his judgment is an awesome testament to God's power. He is the ultimate king over every one of these nations. He has the power to do for them, with them, and against them whatsoever he wills, whenever he wills to do it. They have no power to challenge or resist his sovereign will. These announcements are in the Bible so we can know that this is who God is. He not only rules over these nations, he commands the entire universe. God sits on his throne in infinite power and glory. All the things that scare you or give you anxiety exist under his almighty rule. Because God has this kind of power and authority, nothing that you need is beyond his power to deliver. May the God of your thoughts not be too small. May the infinite glory of his power and authority overwhelm anything in creation that might paralyze you with fear. So that's the question this morning. That's the question I have for you this morning. And what is that question? Is your God too small? Is your God too small? That's the question you have to ask yourself. I hope you have a big God this morning, or fears and anxieties will creep into your life. Our God's in the heavens. He's doing as he pleases. And he's a great God. No one stands in opposition to him. So trust in him today and give him glory. Soli Deo Gloria.